Have you ever felt like there's some kind of hidden blueprint to the universe? A secret set of rules that connects everything, from the biggest galaxies all the way down to the thoughts inside your own mind? Well, for literally thousands of years, people have been on that exact quest, and a whole lot of them found their answers in this really fascinating, kind of mysterious tradition called Hermeticism. So, what if I told you there's this hidden thread of wisdom? A sort of universal instruction manual that might just explain, oh, well, everything. That's really the core promise of Hermeticism. And our journey into it? It starts with this incredibly mysterious figure. All right, so let's dive into this guy, the mythical Hermes Trismegistus, a hero of two worlds. So who was this thrice great Hermes? I mean, was he a real person? A god? Some kind of ancient sage? Well, the answer is kind of yes. A little bit of all of the above, and honestly, that's what makes him so cool. See, here's the thing. Hermes Trismegistus wasn't actually a single historical guy you could go and meet. He's more of a symbol, a divine fusion, really. Think about it. You take the Greek god Hermes, the super smart messenger of the gods, and you combine him with the Egyptian god Thoth, the god of deep wisdom, magic, and writing. What you get is this perfect blend of two incredible cultures, and that's Hermes Trismegistus. Okay, let's talk about where all this came from. Its ancient Greco-Egyptian origins. It was a real melting pot of ideas. I want you to just picture ancient Alexandria for a second. It's bustling. You've got Greek philosophers arguing on street corners, Egyptian priests doing these ancient rituals, and people from all over the known world sharing ideas. It was this incredible, vibrant mix. And it was right there, in that cultural soup, that Hermeticism was born. And eventually, all these powerful ideas had to be written down, right? Well, they were, in a collection of texts we call the Hermetica. And these weren't just dry philosophical books. No way. They were more like a secret guide to the universe, packed with this unique mix of philosophy, religion, and even magic. So, what's the big, foundational idea at the heart of all of this? It's this concept of God as the all. Now, stick with me here. The easiest way to think about it is like this. The entire universe is a thought, a mental creation happening inside a single cosmic mind. And if the universe is the creation, and it's also in the mind of the creator, that means everything, including us, is part of this one all-encompassing consciousness. Pretty mind-bending, right? And that brings us to maybe the most famous phrase to ever come out of Hermeticism from the Emerald Tablet. As above, so below. You've probably heard it before, but what does it actually mean? It's this beautiful idea that the universe is holographic. The same patterns you see in the stars and galaxies, they're also right here, inside of you, in your life. It means the macrocosm and the microcosm are reflections of each other. And if you can understand one, you get a key to understanding the other. It's a total game changer. So after the Roman Empire collapsed, a lot of this incredible wisdom was, well, it was basically lost to the West for centuries. But it didn't vanish, not at all. It was actually kept safe, studied, and preserved by brilliant scholars in the Islamic world. And eventually, these texts made their way back to Europe, and when they did, man, they helped kickstart a revolution in thinking. It was like this ancient wisdom was being reborn. But that really makes you wonder, right? How on earth did this knowledge survive all that time, through all that chaos, to end up inspiring some of the greatest minds in history? It's an incredible story, really, involving wealthy patrons, secret missions, and a desperate search for lost knowledge. Let's actually walk through the journey of these texts. So check this out. Around 1460, these lost Hermetic writings land in Florence. And the guy in charge, Cosimo de' Medici, gets so excited about them that he literally tells his translator to drop everything, even the works of Plato, and translate these first. For a long time, everyone thought they were super, super ancient, like from the time of Moses. But then, plot twist, in 1614, a scholar proves they were actually written much later, in the early Christian era. You'd think that would kill the hype, but nope. The ideas were so powerful, they had a massive comeback in the 19th century with all these esoteric groups. Okay, so that big revival in the 1800s leads us straight to what most people think of today when they hear Hermeticism, the Seven Hermetic Principles. Now, this is a really important distinction to make. This is a modern interpretation. It's like a great remix of an ancient classic track. Same core ideas, but packaged for a new audience. And a source for this remix is a really influential book from 1908 called The Kybalion.
What it did was brilliant, really. It took all this vast, ancient, sometimes pretty dense philosophy and boiled it down into 7 core principles, 7 universal laws. You could almost call it the Cliff's Notes Guide to Hermetic wisdom.
So let's run through them. These 7 principles are meant to be a complete system for understanding how reality works. First, you've got mentalism. The whole universe is mental, a creation of a universal mind. Then, correspondence. That's our as above, so below. Big patterns and small patterns mirror each other. Third, vibration. Simple but profound. Nothing is ever still. Everything is moving, vibrating. Fourth is polarity. It tells us that opposites like hot and cold aren't different things. They're just different degrees of the same thing. Fifth, we have rhythm. Everything has a natural cycle, an ebb and a flow, like the tides. Sixth, cause and effect. For every action, there's a reaction. Nothing is random. And finally, number 7 is gender. Not in the biological sense, but that everything has masculine and feminine energies that work together to create. It's a pretty elegant system when you see it all together. So, when you put all this together, you start to see Hermeticism's enduring legacy. It's like this golden thread of wisdom that runs through so much of history. And the influence of these ideas, it's absolutely staggering. They've inspired everyone from alchemists and mystics to some of the most groundbreaking scientists and artists. You really can see its fingerprints everywhere. Think about alchemy. On the surface, it's about turning lead into gold, but for the Hermetic alchemist, that was just a symbol for the real work, purifying the human soul. Or astrology, not just predicting the future, but understanding the divine cosmic blueprint. These ideas were the bedrock for groups like the Rosicrucians and became a cornerstone for basically all of modern Western esotericism, like the famous Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So what's the big takeaway here? I think it's that this ancient path, stretching all the way from Greco-Roman Egypt to today, offers a powerful reminder. It tells us that the universe isn't just a bunch of random chaos. It suggests there's an intelligent, ordered system behind it all. And, here's the most important part, that we have the power to understand ourselves and our place in that grand design. It's a truly timeless quest. And that brings us right back to where we started, to that first and most fundamental principle, the all is mind. If that's true, if the universe really is mental, then it leaves us with one heck of a question, doesn't it? What reality are you choosing to create?